decisions, great mound visits, great job not letting the best player beat you.
This one crushed, out to right field. And it's going to be out of here. Pennsylvania walk-off home run. Travis Skowronek sends him to Williamsport.
With the 37th pick of the 2023 MLB Draft, the Detroit Tigers select Kevin McGonigal, a shortstop from Monsignor Bonner High School, Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Bryce Harper. Suarez delivers. Swing and a drive. Left field. It's deep. It's gone. Yes! And it is gone!
Yes!
It is bedlam at the bank as Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, his 10th career home run in the postseason. And he may never hit a bigger one.
What is up, Delaware County, and welcome back for episode number 76 of Delco Baseball Now, alongside Ben Thorpe. I'm Brendan Ricciardi. Ben, we only got 2 teams left playing in Delco Baseball, but it was a pretty chaotic last week or two here.
Yeah, that was one of the busier weeks of my life, but got two left standing, Radnor and Bonner, hopefully making a couple deep state runs. We'll find out this week.
2 very differently constructed teams. We'll talk about that in a bit. Before we get into anything here, I got to give a huge shout out to our full team of interns. Have been awesome, just really being able to help us with all the recaps, the photography, everything. 2 I really need to highlight just for all season. David Shapansky, our play-by-play guy, has been really taking over the county. I mean, that guy's a star. He's going to go way further than just Delco Baseball Now. And Shelby Kaufman with the photography and also the write-ups as well. We've had a great team. We've had people doing stuff in and out, but they've really been consistent in all year, just, making names for themselves. It was funny after Radnor won, they wanted a picture with Dave and then the rest of us. And I'm like, this kind of rocks.
Yeah, that was actually really funny. That was cool. That was the first time I think anyone's asked for a picture with us. I thought we were a picture of them with.
I thought they just wanted Dave, and I would not have been offended whatsoever if they just wanted Dave. I'm like, this guy's a star. But yeah, I mean, it's fun when a Delco team plays the non-Delco teams. Like Radnor Bonner will not play another Delco team the rest of the way because they're in different classes. So we get to openly root for our guys now, which is way more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always and I mean, we're obviously neutral when it's Delco versus Delco, but yeah, it is kind of nice to be able to kind of put not worry about any kind of bias when they're playing a non-Delco team, because it's just it's nice to be able to root for someone sometimes.
Yeah, when we ideally if we get to stream a state's game, we'll sound like a home broadcast.
Yeah.
That's the point. But before we get into our high school stuff, we got a couple quick college shout outs here. We got a couple national champions. We'll start with Tommy Bradley. It really feels like just yesterday I was writing the article about him playing his first season of college baseball at the age of 23. He spent time working, he spent time coaching, decided to go back to school, and I believe 54-6 record for the RCSJ. It's Rowan College of South Jersey, Gloucester County, the Roadrunners. 3rd straight national championship. I think Tommy, according to Tommy, they only used 5 pitchers across 4 games, which is just silly. So they won every game by 8 or more runs. They won, I think they 10-run 3 teams. And, for a bullpen pitcher, Tommy was basically I didn't really get a chance, but I didn't really need a chance. We were just kicking the crap out of everybody. So it's hard to complain about not being used. Obviously, he was more than happy with getting his ring, and, it was definitely a long time coming for him.
Oh, for sure. It's been a hell of a journey for him. Even a little bit of a weird journey for his team this year, because they lost in that kind of, I don't know if it was regionals or districts.
I thought they were out.
Yeah, we thought they were done, and we were shocked. They ended up getting an at-large to go back into the World Series, and made the most of it, won it. Another incredible run from them.
How many people can say they are a Little League World Series participant, even as a coach, and then a national champion as a player? That's an interesting combo.
Yeah, that's a
very small field.
And a Delco League champion.
And that's true. And Delco League champion. Yeah. I'd imagine no one can claim those three besides him.
I think he's the only one.
Yeah.
Missing someone.
Yeah.
Unless
someone from like the 50s. Someone from like the 1950s.
Either someone from the 50s or someone from that was on that team that is going to go on and do it.
Yeah.
I think that those would be the only two.
Yeah, but very happy for Tommy. He's a great guy. He deserves it. I don't know what his college future will entail. Maybe he ends up at a 4-year program. I wonder if the Roadrunners can move up to D2 because it doesn't seem like D3 is giving them much of a true challenge.
Yeah, I have no idea exactly how that works in terms of like divisions for JUCOs. I know it's a pretty complicated process for like the 4 years, but
yeah,
I don't know about those.
All right, let's move into Ben. I had to do it. Penn State Club Baseball, 3rd straight national championship. I was on the first one in 2023. Last year, I was the only Delco guy on that team. Last year, Owen Mathis from Marple was on the team. He had to miss the World Series because he was studying abroad, and they just overlapped. Drew LaMonica from Conestoga was on the team, but Owen Mathis made his presence felt at this year's World Series. Take a look at this clip right here.
The national championship game is on the line. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Owen Mathis. The winning run is 90 feet away. The payoff. Fastball is going to be lined to right field. This ball is going to be down. Tanner Singh is going to walk home, and he touches home plate. A storybook ending for Penn State. Let the celebrations begin in Happy Valley. The Nittany Lions are national champions. Back-to-back titles. A 3-peat for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Owen Mathis walks it off, and Penn State is champions yet again.
That's right, a walk-off winner for the Marple Newtown alum. Very happy for Owen. We also had Justin Brennan from Marple. Don't think he made an appearance in the World Series. He was a bullpen guy. Pat Mannix was the cleanup hitter. I would probably argue the second best and most consistent hitter on the team. I think he had 4 games this World Series with 2 hits, and I think 1 without any. So like really consistent all postseason, and really he worked it. He wasn't a starter early on, and he worked his way in. That's a Radnor alum. Austin Marks, a Radnor alum, got a save against Oregon, I believe, in an elimination game. I think that was his only appearance. Conestoga's Drew LaMonica had a big World Series. He had a 4-hit game against Creighton at one point. He was locking down center field. I think it was actually funny. It was Mannix bats 4th, LaMonica 5th, and Mathis 6th. So whenever that last inning came up, I'm like, one of these 3 guys, like they gotta get it done for us here. Yeah. They gotta get it done for us here. And then Joe McGinnis is a Broomall guy that went to St. Joe's Prep. He's out. He had some elbow problems, so I think he actually might become the coach of the D2 team next year because he's worried his arm is just kind of shot. So yeah, 6 guys: Mathis, Brennan, Marks, Mannix, McGinnis, and LaMonica. Very happy for all of them. Kind of the end of this little core, but I've already had some guys reach out to me that are going to Penn State next year from the area. I don't need to, put them on blast here, but they, just kind of asked about it. I'm like, hey, like that's what I'm here for. I'm the ambassador. I want you guys to make it and carry on the legacy here. But very happy for all of those guys. Hopefully I'll get to see them soon this summer. Before we get into all of our high school action here, I believe this is the final STS ad of the year. They've been a great sponsor for us, really helping us out with with their support. So let's hear a quick word from STS.
If you love working with kids and making a difference, then substitute teaching is the perfect job for you. Substitute Teacher Service is hiring teachers in your area year-round for all positions and levels. A teaching degree is not required. We provide you with all necessary certification and even help you to work towards a full-time teaching position. Great benefits, flexible schedule, a rewarding career. The subservice is hiring right now in your area. Learn more and apply today at thesubservice.com.
Probably a bad time to get into substitute teaching considering it's May 31st when we're recording this, so there's probably not much time left for you, but you got all summer to get set up for next year. As someone who turns 26 in a week, you do get health insurance through them, so that is a big thing, that once you turn 26 you get kicked off your parents. So very important there. But let's get into our high school action. I guess we'll start with Bonner because they've won 2 championships in the last week or so. Radnor, how dare they, only won 1. Disgraceful. Bonner has 2 trophies. But we'll start with the PCL championship because, Bonner just dominated. When I watched them in the first round, I guess technically second round against Father Judge, they won 5-3. They played fine. It was an okay game. Ben, you were there. I thought there was a chance they could beat LaSalle, but 14-1 in the semis was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was. We obviously knew Bonner was a good team, but we also knew how good LaSalle was, especially on the pitching end. And obviously there's a chance they win. None of us, I think, saw that coming. They dominated the game in every aspect. Their hitting was just, relentless, and it has been for the past couple games, as we'll kind of get into. But yeah, it was an all-around incredible performance. I think I got there late. It was already like 6-0. Like they dominated. Like they really dominated.
Yeah, and they took it to 3 separate D1 recruits. Like it wasn't just one guy had a meltdown. Like the starting pitcher, blanking on his name, Fordham recruit, put like 5 or 6 on him. Middle guy,
something
Cauley.
Yeah, Cauley was the.
So they put Declan, maybe.
Yeah, it might be.
Does that sound right? Either way, they put like 5 or 6 on him. Then next up, Old Dominion recruit Cavalcante, who just shut down Devin Prep. They put like 4 or 5 on him. Then Jack Pye, William & Mary, 4 or 5. Like it wasn't just one guy had a meltdown. They did not care. They put a couple runs on all of them, and just a unbelievable effort. Johnny Ortega and I want to say who pitched after him. I think Graziani and Buckton both pitched in a year or 2.
Ortega, he went to Buckton, and then I think Graziani finished it.
Yeah. And then, to come back less than 24 hours later to take on Ryan, Mikey Klonski in that championship game, 6 shutout innings. How about Corey Sheridan, first appearance of the year, coming in to close out the PCL championship? Like, I would have been very nervous. Nothing against Corey, just the fact he hadn't had any experience coming in at like a 2-0 game or like 3-1. But like that was the perfect time to be like, hey, like we need to see what you have for a potential states run. So let's go out there. And the velocity looked like pretty good. He's not going to be throwing 93, but like the slider looked very accurate, and he looked like he knew what he was doing with it, which is the big thing for him to be able to be successful. Because like he can blow it by you still, sure. He's not going to be at 100%, but if he can locate the slider, then he'll be fine.
Yeah, it looked like he had his stuff. It's good to see. It's good to see him out and healthy and everything, given kind of the injury issues he was dealing with this year. But yeah, no, it looked really good. What a start from Klonski, probably the game of his life, I guess, to this point. And again, the offense just did their job. But yeah, it'll be really cool to see what they have in store for Sheridan the rest of the way.
I can't see him starting a game, but I feel like he's their X factor. He's like if you need a couple big outs, like he doesn't have to close, but he could be 6th inning, 7th, like just I don't know. Yeah. I think he showed that they trust him. If he's healthy, they trust him. So there's a lot of praise to go around for the Bonner offense, but it all starts with Ryan Friel because he's leading Delco. He's hitting .494 right now. OPS, I forget. I think it was in the 12s or something. Yeah, maybe 13s. He had an inside the Parker. We'll talk about that city championship in a sec. But Ben, they've now played 4 playoff games, and he has 3 hits in all 4 playoff games.
That's some clutch gene right
there. I'm not good at fractions on my mental side, so he is 12 for 17. He is hitting .706 in the playoffs.
Holy crap.
Just hearing that out loud, and like 17 at bats is not a small playoff sample size. No, like he's just really and you could tell he's a little banged up too. Like he was limping off the field. He was limping into that dog pile.
Yeah.
He looks better when he was doing the inside the park homer. I'll say that.
That's good at least. Hopefully, whatever. Seems like he ironed out whatever that was at the PCL game. But dude, that's just a hell of a run from him right now.
Our Clutch Player of the Year award was literally invented for this reason.
Yeah.
I mean, just what a tear. It's the fifth PCL championship in Bonner's history. 2022 with Kevin McGonigal's junior year was their most recent one since then. So it felt funny saying they're first since 2022, but it's like they're always in the mix. So it makes sense. This is a new core. Gavin Dorita is another guy you got to shout out. He's a sophomore that's really just emerged throughout the year. Bonner, the crazy thing is a lot of these bats are back. Sergio Hernandez, Ryan Friel, Gavin Dorita, Cole Romano, Owen Lockhart, like a lot of these guys are going to be back next year, which is scary. But I had I actually don't know who it was. I had like a Bonner dad or something, like playfully like messing with us, being like, oh, like, is this good enough to, finally get us in like the top spot of the rankings? And, I was laughing, but in my head, I'm like, this is not the team we've seen all year. Like these guys were 7-5. They were 7-5 in the PCL. They couldn't field for a while. They weren't hitting like the starting pitching when Sheridan went down. We didn't know what to see. Like this team is not. This is without a doubt the best, in my opinion, the best well-rounded team in Delco right now. I think Radnor is awesome, but I think they need to hit a little better if they want to make a deep run. But like this Bonner team has 10 run the last 3 teams they've played. They look awesome. The pitching has been stellar. They've let up, I think, 1 run in the last 3 games combined, 14-1, 10-0, and 11-0. And right now they just seem unstoppable.
Yeah, they're playing. I mean, they're playing fantastic and way better than we've seen them at all this year. Mm-hmm. This is, like hand up. Like I didn't know they had this in them. To be able to go out and do this, just for kind of like how everything's gone the year. They've been a little bit inconsistent with everything. To see them put it all together, I mean, that they look extremely dangerous right now.
Yeah, I thought they were going to lose to LaSalle, but once they beat LaSalle, I'm like, they can beat anyone. They can beat. They will go into any game thinking that they can win, and then they should win. But last thing, in the city championship, they played Central High School at LaSalle University. I did not know that Central was literally across the street from LaSalle University, so it almost felt like a home game for them. I'd never been to LaSalle's field. Terrible bleachers, by the way. I thought it was going to fall off the entire time. But yeah, that game started pretty slow because Central has a Bucknell recruit pitcher, Tyler Seidman. First couple innings, pretty uneventful. I think it was like 1-0 after 4 or 5 until Bonner started to get some hits. Michael Coleman had an RBI single. Ryan Friel had a 2-run double. Kind of gave him some breathing room. And once they got him out of the game, like the Central bullpen was nowhere near his level, and they started to pile on. Friel had an inside the Parker, which, if for anyone that's never been to LaSalle, it's like 450 to center. It's kind of like short-ish down the lines and kind of just goes to like a point. It's kind of like Upper Darby in a way where the center field fence is like a corner. It's just like very deep. So if you hit in the gap there, you're going to be running for a little while. But pretty convincing win there. Bonner will take on Coatesville, the 3 seed out of District 1 on Monday at 1 o'clock at LaSalle High School. Not LaSalle University this time, LaSalle High School. Ben, I'm not thrilled about the 1 o'clock start time, but I am thrilled about LaSalle because it's close to where we live.
Yeah, I'll take the close proximity. Obviously, the 1 o'clock. I mean, the 1 o'clock start time, I guess, isn't unheard of with states games. Something I think we've had to deal with that a couple of times, but it's I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. Coatesville's a really good team. I know we've kind of since we've gotten into the playoffs, like they've been a team we've had an eye on, and there's a lot of talent there. I know the name escapes me right now. I know they have an ECU commit at the plate. They're going to be really strong. But this Bonner team's, the way they're playing, and if they can continue to do that, I don't know who can beat them.
Yeah. So I don't know the ECU guy's name, but they're starting. It seems like their ace is a sophomore. Very Italian name. His last name's Di Giuseppe.
Oh, let's go.
I'm sorry. He is Giuseppe, and there's also a Di Giuseppe on the team.
What? That's really
and they apparently also have a kid named Nuge.
Oh, this is Nuge, yes.
Nuge. I think I might have recognized the name. I think I might have worked one of those Phillies baseball camps a couple years ago and had him because the name sounds familiar. I know Adam Clark as well is a catcher that's really good for them. Not sure off the top of the head who the ECU commit is.
It's in the notes, and I looked multiple times, being like, "I'll bring this up during the show," and then, of course,
I'm thinking Shane Monahan. Yeah. Shane Monahan's what I'm seeing from Perfect Game. He's a shortstop, so definitely be a bat to watch there. So yeah, that game will be Monday at 1:00. I believe there's a chance that should Bonner win, they will play another District 1 team. Let me pull up the bracket here real quick.
Is the bracket set?
The bracket is set. So if Bonner wins, they will play the winner of Neshaminy and Parkland. So we could actually have a Neshaminy-Coatesville rematch should both of those teams win. They just played. Actually, I can share my screen. Hang on. I keep forgetting I can do that, like we did for the red zone here. That should be. Let's see.
Oh man.
There we go. Here we go. So yeah, you can see at the top there. So North Penn, they won District 1. Awesome moment. Chase Jones, I think a Westchester recruit, hit a grand slam in the top of the 7th. Excuse me, against Henderson. I think it was 2-1 at that time, so that made it 6-1. So you can see at the top there. North Penn will take on Ephrata, Hazleton, and Hempfield. I think Hempfield was the team that beat LaSalle last year, right?
Yes, that's North Penn Hempfield is
that'd be a crazy second round matchup.
One of the better baseball games. Yeah, dude.
Looks like here we got Parkland and Neshaminy. I don't know where Parkland is, so if they win and Bonner wins, that game might be kind of far, but I'm not sure.
Parkland is Allentown.
Okay. Very interesting one. Governor Mifflin was the 5A state champ last year. They're now 22-1 in 6A. I know they got two guys pumping in the 90s. They're going to be tough for Perk Valley. Westchester Henderson will play Liberty. Looks like they'll be hosting that. Cedar Cliff, my girlfriend Annie lives in Lebanon. That's where Cedar Cliff is. So I wouldn't mind if somehow we ended up playing somewhere out there. Because they're playing Keller Bradley.
I mean, that doesn't.
No, you're right. Yeah, we wouldn't play that side of the bracket anyway. But yeah, get ready to learn Keller Bradley. Yeah, he's the Delco killer. I mean, Jesus, 17 strikeouts against Haverford. Jeez.
I was gonna say, enjoy striking out.
And this last one here, Seneca Valley is Pittsburgh. We had a club teammate, Brett Steino, went there, and McDowell was like Erie. So that's western side of the bracket there. But all right, let's move on to Radnor here. District 1 5A champions. Congrats to the Raptors. They've been knocking on the doorstep. They were in the finals last year. We kind of felt like they were, a bit ahead of their time being there last year. But this was their time. It was a Teddy Monahan walk-off single. Let's put in that clip as well right here.
2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at second is Selbach. Monahan at the plate. Twirls the bat a couple times. Coming set is Dahl. Base open at first. The 3-2 pitch to Monahan is lined into right field. Heading back is Lagerstedt. It's over his head. And coming home to score is Will Selbach. And the Radnor Raptors are 2025 District 1 5A champions.
Great call from our guy Dave Shapansky. Really built the suspense up, nailed the call. Great swing there from Monahan, trying not to do too much with, especially runner in scoring position, just get the ball on the bat. He put it over the right fielder's head. And Radnor, I believe that's their second district title, both under Mark Jordan. They will take on Elizabethtown. Ben, you're wearing an Elizabethtown hoodie.
Yeah,
people are saying you're an op right now.
When we started talking about the states brackets like a minute ago, I started to realize how poorly my outfit choice was. This is Elizabethtown College.
Yep, Elizabethtown College. Nope. I'm sure they're probably a couple minutes from each other, I would guess.
Yeah, I've during over COVID, I would go there and throw every now and then.
Makes sense, yeah.
But still, yeah, no. Boo the high school. College, of course, love those guys, but yeah. I think the high school is the Bears. We're blue.
Okay. Well, that game will take place at Radnor, 4:00. So for anybody out there, all the sickos, you could do a doubleheader if you wanted to. We can't. So the PIAA charges to stream. We honestly, our main thing was we just didn't know which game to stream, so we're doing neither. We're going to save our money up and just realistically assume that we're not going to get 2 teams in the semis. And try and, if say one team wins on Monday and the other loses, we'll just be streaming the others going forward. Also, because the games are so close, people can just go, if they want to go. So I kind of thought that like on Thursday, if the game's kind of in the middle of nowhere, it would be much better for the sake of streaming. But we plan on getting some broadcasts in with our guy Dave. But Radnor will take on Elizabethtown. I've heard they have a Penn State recruit, Isaiah Shader, on the mound, so that's going to be a tough battle for them. But guess what? Radnor has a D1 recruit too, and Austin Havertine struck out 9. Yeah, so I think that's going to be a very, very low scoring game. Wouldn't be surprised. But let's talk about Radnor's run. So they had the first round bye. They played Upper Perk. Kind of got shell-shocked a little when Havertine let up a homer in the first inning, but they really locked in. They won that one 9-2. I think Matt Shaholsky homered in that game as well. Just a wet game at that Marple turf. Then they took on Hatboro Horsham. Very, very close game. Ben, you were there in extra. Zach Fine walk-off single. Again, that was a game where they were down 3-0, correct?
Yeah, they got down 3-0 early. It was just I don't even know how to describe the play that they fell behind on. There's just a lot. Literally home run. We'll call it that.
Just thrown away in the outfield, right?
Yeah, it was. There's a single that scored a run, and then the guy with the throw came home. The guy was going to second, and somehow the throw from catcher to second managed to get into deep center field.
Yeah, just the way Shelby texted me, just said nightmare.
Oh my god,
that's all she's. Yeah, she's I'm sorry, disaster. It was disaster.
Actually,
yeah,
disaster would be a perfect way to describe it. But they stayed the course. Daniel Callis was, lights out the rest of the way. Kept him in it, and then tied the game up with a double that he absolutely crushed. But yeah, no, they kind of seem to have been following that theme of maybe get down early a little bit, stay the course and wear you down, and eventually put a couple across and get ahead. And at that point, you're not scoring on their pitching.
Yeah, they're never out of any game just because of how their pitching can lock in, and even that Upper Dublin game, I think Havertine threw 8 of 9 pitches for balls to start the game, and I think if you look at what happened against Marple last year, that team just kind of not collapsed, but it was 4-0 after 1, right? Yeah. I think this team is just more mentally tough, more mature, more sure of themselves, saying hey, we know we belong here. We know that what we can do. Just a great pitching matchup in this one. Both Havertine and Upper Dublin's Austin Dahl, who could throw a slider at any count at any time and feel like he was going to locate it. Just a great pitching matchup all around. Upper Dublin, they left him in for the last hitter. I don't know how you take him out. You got to go with your guy at the end of the day. If you're going to win, he got you there. You're going to win or lose by him. So Radnor captures the district title 2-1. I'll pull up the 5A bracket here. So for anyone a little bit new to the state scene, we've only ever had one Delco team win a PIAA state title. That was Marple Newtown in 2018 when Luke Zimmerman hit a walk-off single against, Lampett or Strasburg? Is that who it was? Or maybe Latrobe?
No, I think it was. I think it was I think it might have been Lampert or Strasburg. I think that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up because I think they played. I think they played a Greater Latrobe team at some point in that run. Who did they beat? Lower Dauphin. That's who they beat. Okay. Yeah, I think they played a Lampert or Strasburg on the way, but yeah, they beat Lower Dauphin in that game. I'll zoom in a little so everybody can see this bracket. So Radnor right at the top of the bracket there. They'll take on Elizabethtown. Should they win, they'll play the winner of Pittston and Palmyra. I don't know where either of those schools are, so that game might be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know where either. I don't know anything about either, but there is one loss between both of those teams.
Yeah, no, that's scary. It looks like Hughstown. Yeah, I don't know where any of this is. District 3 is usually kind of like that, Mechanicsburg area, Hershey, out by there. Hatboro Horsham will play at DeSales against Bangor. I know District 11 is more northeast, Scranton-ish, up there. Franklintown Charters, the Philly Public School rep. So I guess they beat Roman Catholic.
Yeah, they 10-run Roman Catholic.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that game will all. Oh, okay, so it looks like so that's why it's at 1 because Upper Dublin's playing there right after.
So they're just doubling up on it.
That makes sense. Okay. There's Lampert or Strasburg. Peters Township, I know it's Pittsburgh. We had a club teammate, 15-9. So I guess they went on a nice little district run to make that state's bracket.
Must have.
Pine Richland, another big Penn State club baseball powerhouse. I think there was 4 or 5 guys in the roster from this year. Central Mountain, 15-0. That's got to be near like State College. That's where District 6 is. So they got to be somewhere out there. Du Bois, Bethel Park, they don't have to play Bonner anymore. So maybe this could be, the time to – I mean, they won 2 before Bonner beat them, but that game will be at the turf at Du Bois. That's pretty cool. The boys from Shaler are back. I hope – oh, man, if Radnor could somehow beat them, that would be fun. That's who beat Strathaven in the 2023 title. So we'd like to get some revenge there. But, yeah, Radnor will be taking on Elizabethtown, and hopefully we'll have some more from there. But just a couple things I want to wrap up from high school outside of the champions. We got to give our flowers to Chichester because there's a lot of people that have a lot to say about the Del Val, about, how they've done in the playoffs, how they don't deserve to be there, blah, blah, blah. If you want to say that you don't think Chi deserves, like, the bye or the number 1 seed because of the conference they play in, I get it. But, like, they deserve to be in the bracket, and they showed it today. They beat Strathaven, I won't say handily, but, 6-2 is a pretty convincing result. They beat them at their own game. They got the bunts down. They played good defense. They got I think 5 of their runs were with 2 outs, maybe. Like, they scored a bunch of runs with 2 outs, or at least with, big 2-run doubles. Like, they played with energy. Like, I won't say Strathaven was dead because that's not true, but Chichester, they believed they could win this game. They went out and they showed it. The next 2 games didn't go great for them, but, like, they showed that, like, hey, like, we deserve to be in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something we knew all along, that they deserve to be there. Yeah, and obviously there's they get a lot of shit through really no fault of their own besides beating the teams that are on their schedule. And there's nothing they can do about the fact that the PIA only counts your league wins. Mm-hmm. They're in the league they're in. I imagine it is really hard to move leagues. Then they do that and they win, and they end up with the 1 seed. They don't make the formula. They don't do the rankings, and kind of a byproduct of that is everyone just piling on them. So it was really good to see them win a game.
Yeah, Gavin Darrison threw 5 great innings. Cole Sanford closed it out. He had a 2-run double. I think Logan Worley also had a 2-run double. Also, a credit to the Chichester grounds crew. I was told that they spent the whole day with leaf blowers on the field, which is awesome.
Insane. That's a dedication now.
Yeah, like apparently from 9 a.m. to game time, they literally were just going around the field with leaf blowers, which rocks. So, dudes rock. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ground crew got to win as much as the team does there.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to get a quick word from our guys over at the Longin Group before we wrap up the show. They are an insurance company that offers insurance solutions and risk management strategies for not just businesses, but also individuals and families. You can buy insurance anywhere, but at the Longin Group, they will build a relationship with you and advise you as your needs evolve so you can stay protected. They offer homeowners insurance, auto, life, business, especially for contractors like electricians, plumbers, HVACs, painters. Give Charlie Longin a call. 610-724-9717. I've been seeing him at the Bonner games lately. Front Central season is done, so he should have more free time for you as well. But give Charlie a call. Last thing I want to mention here, I feel bad for the guys over at Haverford. We were told not to really share specifics because we know what happened, but I think we can share at least that Jimmy Boy had a concussion. He missed. He was injured during the Souderton game, and he missed the next game against North Penn and also against Pennsbury. And, at the end of the day, they didn't hit, but also not having your ace and also a good hitter out there is just so deflating. That's the big thing. Like, it takes the wind out of your sail.
Yeah. I mean, that's – and to what you said, that they obviously didn't hit, that was kind of the downfall. But I would also argue, when you – again, like, you lose that guy to – kind of a pretty freakish, thing. But yeah, it's just tough. It's tough. It's tough to lose your ace. You're really, I feel like, kind of the leader of that team, or one of the leaders of that team. And now you're kind of going into these games, these really tough games when they got North Penn, they got Pennsbury, without your 1-1. And it puts a lot more pressure on the offense. You start to press because you need to score. Because you might not get those 7 shutouts that Jimmy Boyle would probably give you. and the situation sucks. Obviously.
It's just a shame. Yeah. They deserve better after that regular season. It's just, with that being said, they also lost to the district champ and a Vanderbilt recruit chucking 94 at them. So, if there's any solace, it's you didn't just lose to a team that you should have handled. They lost to teams that they could have beaten, not that they should have beaten. I guess that's the way to put it. But, they'll be back next year. They got a lot of that core coming back. Cam McCormick will be on Offensive Player of the Year watch list for us. Jimmy Boyle on Player of the Year watch list. Sam Sturman had a great season. Really showed that he'll be a big part in next year as well. Shane Durkin, once again, back. Another really, really strong year. They're losing Ryan Cassidy, Nick Elvanian, Gavin McClafferty, Will Elias, a lot of the guys. But I still think that this is going to be one of the Central League favorites next year. And it's just, it's just a bummer. That's the best way to put it. They deserved a better ending here. But all right, Ben, anything else to get off your chest? I guess real quick, it's Saturday morning, so a lot of the NCAA regionals are still yet to get going, but Derek Vols threw 3.2 shutout. I kind of doubt we see him again this weekend because, no offense, I don't know if Holy Cross is even making it to Sunday, let alone a game where I would be stunned if he pitched today on Saturday. Maybe in a do-or-die Sunday situation, but I think with a young arm like that and promising future, probably not going to risk it. Eric Genther for Rhode Island, they lost to Dallas Baptist, but he went 2 for 3 with 2 walks and a diving catch where he broke his sunglasses.
Nice. All right.
Also, not to make fun of Eric, I love him, but Eric, it was 12:30 in the morning.
I was about to.
You don't need. He wasn't wearing. They were on his hat. I get the aura. That's what you. Yeah, a fantastic catch though. We'll see. Rhode Island, I believe, is playing Little Rock today in the losers bracket game. So we'll see. It's hard for the majors that lose their first game to kind of run the table there. A ton of 1 seeds lost yesterday, like 5 or 6.
4. I think 4.
I think Ole Miss lost. Vandy almost lost.
Yeah,
Ole Miss definitely lost. I think. I'm gonna pull up the bracket. I think.
Utah Valley won.
Yep.
State won. Columbia won, and.
Let's see. Vanderbilt was on the ropes. Wright State had them on the ropes. Florida State lost to Bethune-Cookman. Or I'm sorry, did they lose to Northeastern?
No,
Florida State lost.
Florida State won.
I'm sorry. That's weird. This bracket says it has how many losses you have, not how many wins you have. My bad. Yeah, it's very odd.
The other ones.
Ole Miss lost. Let's see. Oregon. Yeah, Oregon was the one that lost to Utah Valley. Oregon State also lost. Yeah. Southern Miss lost to Columbia. Yeah, so a lot of 1 seeds going down, which makes it more entertaining because the 1 seeds have the pitching to get through. Like if you're a mid-major 4 seed and you lose the first game, you're toast. Like you have to win so many games in a row. It's just unbelievable. But yeah, elsewhere we have Mike Anderson hasn't got much time for Arkansas. I think he got hurt early, never really got a real crack at it. Ian White Jr., I believe, is hurt for East Carolina. He hasn't pitched since mid-April and came out after 4 pitches in the outing, so I have to assume probably not seeing him. Connor Scanlon doesn't really get too much time for Fairfield. Maybe if they're either up big or down big, we could see him as well. As we mentioned, Derek Vols had an awesome performance there. I don't know if this counts, but one of the guys that had originally interviewed to be an intern, Brady Roselle, works for the scouting analytics department for Coastal Carolina.
Oh, all right.
He's always doing stuff for their game day ops, so I think that counts.
Yeah, that will count it. We'll
should have put him in the article. Yeah, but all right, everybody. Short episode today, but we only have 2 teams left, so there's really not too much that we had to add in here. But we should have plenty of coverage for you through this week for the first round of states. I will actually be going to the state championships regardless of what happens because that coaching organization, the Penn State Baseball Coaches Association, for any high school coaches out there listening, you can join that. It's very cool. There's a yearly convention. There's cool benefits as well. I will be up there covering the games for them. So if we get Bonner or Radnor, I get my hotel paid for. So I will be up there regardless. So that'll be nice. But yeah, so the first round will be Monday. That is the 2nd. So it'll be Monday the 2nd. Second round is Thursday the 5th. The third round, the semis, will be Monday the 9th. I believe 5A championship is Thursday the 12th. 6A is Friday the 13th. So hopefully we'll get some action there. But on behalf of Ben Thorpe, For myself, Brendan Ricciardi, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following along all year. High school season's coming to a close, but Delco League is underway. We'll have Little League, we'll have Legion, we'll have all kinds of different things throughout the summer. So we're looking forward to it. See you next time.